Hey everybody, it's Kate Richburg. Sorry, I had the preview night one up rather than the TGBE one up, but what are you gonna do? My camera's a little soft. Hang on. There we go. That's better. Oh my gosh, I don't know about you. I have been up early, having a good time watching. I watched Candy Cooper earlier. Great job, Candy, on that cool chain. There's been some chatting going on in the background. I finished a couple of samples to share with you. So we are going to have such a fun time today. My name is Kate Richburg. Excuse me. And welcome to the 2025 Great Bead Extravaganza Spring Fling, my friends. Woo! It is in full swing already, right? We are here. We are making. I've got so much to share with you. Yesterday, we launched our trio of mixes and things for bead embroidery. Thank you all so much for your orders. We really, really appreciate you. If you're new here to beadshop.com, I'm Kate Richburg. You can find me every Wednesday and Friday right here on some of you are watching from Bead Shop, some of you are watching from Kate Richburg, some of you are watching from the Great Bead Extravaganza. So we're all over the place. But every Wednesday and Friday, I come at you at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time. If you haven't done so already, jump over to beadshop.com and sign up for our newsletter. That's how you stay connected with everything that's happening here at Bead Shop. I wanted to let you know today and tomorrow for the Great Bead Extravaganza, we have coupon code TGBE15. Let me put that up. It's right there. It's also on our homepage. So you can enter code TGBE at checkout and you can save 15% across the board. It expires tomorrow night, Sunday night, 4/13/25 at midnight Pacific time. That's also a picture of one of the finished pieces that I did for you folks. We're going to explore that a little bit today. We're going to do a bunch of stuff with bead embroidery. And I even have a trick for you. If you're like, Kate, there is no way I'm going to pick up a needle and do any bead embroidery. I got you covered. Don't worry. We're going to look at it all. A little later on today, just as another reminder, I'm going to be on at 4:00 Pacific time with my dear friend, Francesca Watson. She's going to be sharing some beginning metal smithing techniques for beaders. We're so, so happy to have this master instructor and master metalsmith with us. That is at 4 p.m. Pacific time today. And if you haven't done so already, you can screenshot this right here if you want to, or you can jump over to the Great Bead Extravaganza page or group, print out your schedule or screenshot it here, and you'll be seeing the times in all time zones for everybody that's presenting. Tomorrow night, we wrap it up at 4 p.m. Pacific time with an Ask Me Anything with some members of the Great Bead Extravaganza. We'll also be announcing the date for the Great Bead Extravaganza Summer Edition. All right. Oh, and last thing, I wanted to remind all of you folks, jump over to the group and the page. You'll find this graphic. Click the link and add your name in to be entered to win of one of 3 $150 shopping sprees, pardon me, courtesy of the Great Bead Extravaganza companies. Okay. I think I've taken care of all of the work that I had to do. I have almost 250 of you watching. That is so awesome. Thank you, folks, so much for joining us today. You know, we've said it before. We've said it again. I'll continue to say it. Thanks, JP, for being on the other side of the broadcast and doing that linking. We really, really appreciate it. But, you know, we really, really appreciate you folks there and being here for us as small companies, your support, your likes, your shares, your purchases, even like your social shares, word of mouth, all of it really, really means a lot to us. We know that you have a lot of choices where to spend your discretionary bead income, and we really, really appreciate you folks. Thank you, Em. This is a piece that I made very similar to something I'm going to be making on my sewing retreat in France. After my little presentation today, I'm going to sneak off, do some sewing with friends, and then I'll be back for my presentation with Francesca. So let me get this going on. I'm looking forward to Francesca as well. Debbie, she's going to share some really amazing, amazing fun stuff. Let's take a look at what I've got on my board here. So let me turn off this scroll right here. I'll put it back on. Remember, TGBE 15 here at beadshop.com. Before I go any further, now that I have the two screens up, bear with me, one last thing. You can always reach out to us everywhere around the this bead world, virtual bead world on social. Facebook, our group is the Bead Table, Facebook Bead Table. We'd love to have you over there. Hit us up on the other places on the internet where you can share your stuff. Instagram, tag us at beadshop.com. Go over to Pinterest and share out our pins. We've got a lot of great content over there. Tag us anywhere at beadshop.com. Hit that like, subscribe, and notification button wherever you're watching us out on YouTube, whether it be me, TGBE, or Bead Shop. And if you have questions, reach out to info@beadshop.com. Okay. That's the last piece of business I have to do. And let's take a look at what I've got here. Okay, so I've got a bunch of stuff for bead embroidery on this table. And I'll tell you what, it has been kind of a fun bit of chaos to share all of this with you. If you didn't watch my Free Tip Friday presentation yesterday, I previewed the kits, and today there's something in between here that's keeping this from fixing. Let me move this. There we go. I think that looks better. There we are. I shared all of the different kits. I'm going to show them real quick for you. What you can do is jump over to beadshop.com. You'll see a lot of stuff on the homepage. You'll find all of these kits. We have the bead mixes left. We have a few of the sequin kits, and we have a very few of the rhinestone and crystal kits. So if you haven't shopped yet, jump over and grab those. Do remember that our cart does not save, our website doesn't save what you've put in the cart. So go ahead, use that coupon code and check out. It was an overwhelming response that we got to these, for these types of things. So don't you worry if you miss out, or if you are watching this a little bit later and you're like, Kate, all of these things sold out. Don't worry. Sign up for our newsletter. Keep an eye out on our website. I'm going to be making new versions of these pieces. I promise you. So, we also have these really terrific bezels that we're going to be playing with today. We also have the beads. I'm going to show you how to put those together. And last night, before Chris and I settled in for Friday night pizza night, I put together this piece that I am in super love with. Okay. On the homepage, it links also to all of our chain, to some of our pearls. So this is really kind of a choose your own adventure kind of a gig right here. This is our flat paper clip chain in the antique brass. What I did was and I'm going to show you how to do this. We're going to start this. This is my bead embroidery piece that I glued into the bezel right here. I attached it to what we call the Forest Secrets toggle right here, and this comes together just as the front. Kim, let me tell you, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is correct. 8 p.m. Eastern is 5 p.m. Pacific. So I will be on at 4 p.m. Pacific with Francesca. So that will be 4, 5, 6, 7 p.m. Eastern. And again, she is on, if you check out our schedule right there, you can see that it's in all time zones. So 4 p.m. Pacific is 7 p.m. Eastern time. I'll leave it up there for just a second so you all can screenshot that. Okay, perfect. All right. So let's start at the beginning. Oh my gosh, there's so much I want to share and so little time. We've been doing a lot of bead embroidery here at Bead Shop. We've had my buddy Emily Miller come in and do some of her wonderful bead embroidery. She's been really super inspiring to us. I've been doing a bunch of bead embroidery. Pardon me, my voice hasn't quite kicked in yet. This is my bead embroidery butterfly that I've been doing. I've been doing some pieces on our Saturday stitch-ins. This is our Gatsby 2 mix with that. So those of you who are digging bead embroidery, haven't seen this, go over to our homepage. This is linked to the broadcast, and we also have the templates for this. I have another template that I'm going to fill in with some more bead embroidery. This is on our Ultra Suede, and I show you how to use the transfer paper, outline it, and get your bead embroidery template that way. Okay, so there's so much, so much that we're doing right now. Grab your Gatsby mix as well. This is a really fun, beautiful mix that I've put together with some of my own stash. It's really fun. But what I've done here is, let me show you these two. Let me show you this. Let me show you this template and this template. I'm going to make another template as well. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit. This kind of has this line down the middle, but that's what we're going to go with. Bear with me here just a second. There we go. This is the one that I made using the Twilight mix. Now, this right here is embroidered. This one in this Marrakesh piece, can you guess what I used to adhere all of these things in? Can you guess? Can you guess? I'll tell you. Something else we carry at Bead Shop. I used diamond glaze, my friends. And I'm going to show you, we're going to maybe put together some diamond glaze. Let me do that right now. Let me start. Then we'll get into this bead embroidery. But I want this diamond glaze to actually dry. Okay? So let me show you. With these mixes, and I'm going to keep using, this is the Twilight mix, everything that I have. I'm still using the one that I opened up and did this piece here, this piece here, this piece here. I still have a ton of it left. Now the Twilight mix is Twilight Bloom. These are just the beads right here, but I added its companion sequin packet and the companion rhinestone and crystal packet as well. They are all up. If you go into bead embroidery, they're all there. Okay, so let me show you how I did this. Here's this one. You know what I'm going to use? I'm going to use Gatsby 2 for this diamond glaze. Let me show you. It couldn't, my friends, it could not be easier. Here's this is the rectangle bezel. I'm going to extrude. I had this open. The thing about the diamond glaze is that the tip, if you leave it open like I do when I'm working, the tip wants to clog. So get a sewing pin or just a little sewing needle, then wipe it off so you don't have glue residue on there. That'll kind of open up that tube. And then you can just, I'm going to squeeze some diamond glaze down in the bottom. Okay, let me put the lid back on so it doesn't, because this stuff dries pretty quickly. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come in, I'm going to spread this diamond glaze about all the way to the ends of the bezel. All right, now I'm going to get my tweezers. I threw my tweezers in here. These knotting tweezers are fantastic for putting these little pieces in. The manufacturer that we get our tweezers from, I think they're back ordered for a little bit. So if we're out of tweezers, put your name on the notification list and you'll get an email over at Bead Shop as soon as they're back in. Let me put a couple of sequins underneath. That's what I did before. Let me float a sequin in there. Let me float another sequin just to give a little bit of background to it. And maybe that one right there. There we go. Now I'm going to use, can I zoom in a little bit? Is that better? Let me see. Hold, please. Maybe this background is a little distracting. That might be better. Let's try that. Okay. So let me just keep dropping some. These are bugles. I'll drop some bugles in. I'll place some things that are big. There's some of those little flats, those little check flats from the other mix. Then once I have some larger pieces in there, I just kind of drop things in. Okay. Now don't get too precious with this. Okay. I was kind of getting a little like, oh, I have to place everything perfectly. For the love of all beads, you don't have to do that. Just drop them in, put them in where you like. There's a good one. You can also, like I was doing, kind of sprinkle them in. There's a crystal here, though, that I really wanted. There it is, from this Gatsby mix. There's some old Swarovski in there, some 5301. If you know, you know, right? Here's another little one there, another bugle. Now, not everything is adhering to that bottom layer of diamond glaze that I've done, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to come in and I'm going to diamond glaze this one more time. Let me get that little one in there. That's looking pretty good, right? It might, Ma, the aluminum roses. Let me put one in there. I've got one right here. Let's test it. Shall we? I had an aluminum rose. Yeah, here we go. Here's one. I'll put that in. So what I'll do is, and these aluminum roses are over in Bead Shop Studio, I'm going to add another layer of diamond glaze on the top of this. Not a lot though, right? A little diamond glaze goes a long way. Let me clear the spout again here. Bear with me. There we are. I don't want to open this up too much because I don't want this diamond glaze to run out fast, right? I want it to extrude kind of slowly. There we go. That looks good. Not too much. I'm going to put that rose. Do I like it over there? I think I do. I'm going to just kind of Get a little bit of diamond glaze there and throw that rose in. This will all dry clear. And I'm going to add a few more. I know, 15-aughts on the top. In this Gatsby mix, I've got some 15s. So let me just put them in. Right? We also sell a bunch of 15s on the website. Your mix, your bead embroidery mix, your twilight mix and stuff that I did for you, those don't have 15s. They have some different sizes. But you can always add in a few that you like, right into your cart. There's a tiny cube, that SB18. Look at that. Just keep adding until you've deemed that it's good enough. There we go. Okay. So I'm just going to very carefully set this aside. Okay. And we'll come back to this a little bit later. I'm going to put it in that dish. Okay. So there we go. Oh, and thank you, Deb, for this tip right here. Oh, sorry. I meant to put, but thank you, Janice, for that update. Where did that, there we go. Deb, thank you. You can pre-tack bigger things like that rose and add it before it completely dries. That's great. Thank you. Yeah, isn't it? It looks good, I think. So you don't have to embroider, okay? But let me show you what I did with this one. Because the bead embroidery, we can also do it this way. This is something I did in our Saturday Stitch-In, my Gatsby bangle. It's the exact same technique. You can watch it in one of our Saturday Stitch-Ins. This was our Gatsby 1 mix that I did. I'll do some more. This one I think broke the internet, this mix. I don't have any more left, but I do have some Gatsby 2, which I'm going to make another cuff for it. Okay, so these are our channel cuffs. These are in our bead embroidery findings. They're in there. And I just love this cuff. It feels so opulent. I really want to make a twin one because the 20s were all about wearing twin cuffs, right? So I have another Gatsby mix that I want to make another twin cuff out of. But it's the same way that I did this piece, same way that I did this little piece that we're going to wrap around the bead. So to make the template for your bezel, we've got these round ones. You could see I did a little template there, right, for the round mix. I'm going to draw a little template for this Marrakesh. And what I did was I simply got a piece of cardstock like this. I'm going to cut out a piece. And I'm going to just come in. I'm going to put my little bezel down on it. And I have a really fine pen. This is the wide, Karen, this is the wide cuff. Let me show you. This is the medium bangle. Sorry. This is the medium bangle. And this is the smallest bangle. And that's the biggest one. That's the wide. Okay. So those are the three that I've got there. Yeah, I'm wild about this. Grab your cuffs. We've made another order, but unfortunately, these are all US made, which I love. Unfortunately, the company that's making these is not going to be making these anymore. So we're grabbing as many as we can. So if you love these, grab them. We have another order coming, but that may be the last order of those that we get. I'm going to have to look for some more of those somewhere. So I'm just going to come in and I'm going to use, this is a super fine point pen. I'm just going to draw around this right here so I've got my template. And I'm going to cut this out, okay? Hi, Miranda. Miranda's watching us over on Facebook. Hello, friend. How are you? It's great. I hope you're having a good, relaxing Saturday. So there we are here. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to cut it out here. And then we're going to fit it. The thing about this template is you want to cut on the inside of the lines. Okay. You want to, oh my gosh, I've got 300 people watching. Thank you, folks. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your shares, your comments, your bead love. We so appreciate you. So let me put this in right here into this. It's close, right? So I can kind of see how I need to kind of trim it down. So I'm going to keep trimming it down inch by inch. Well, 30 seconds of an inch by 30 seconds of an inch. Almost there, right? Follow that shape. You could also kind of cut this, fold it in half and do it that way. I kind of lost that little Marrakesh shape on this side, but that's okay. Oh, we're super close, super close. Let me get it this way and this way. All right. Let's put that in there. I just have to trim just a hair right there. I'm going to trim that in to keep that shape a little bit. There we are. And we're just a little fat over there. I could have done something easier like the oval again, but I wanted to show you how this went. Okay. So here, there we go. And you want to make sure that it fits in there. Okay. It doesn't have to reach the ends or whatever because the beads are going to kind of fill it up. All right. So once you have your template, what I do is I come in with my piece of ultra suede and I grab my ultra suede here and I'm going to outline it. Okay. I'm going to use this one that has the butterfly on it here. I'm going to come in and I'm just going to outline it there. Okay. Again, this is just a little thin. It's a 0.3, right? Super thin like this. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to cut this off so I've got something to hang on to. Okay. So now we are going to start embellishing. I use KO usually for embellishing. You could use Fireline, I guess, if you wanted. I guess you could use Nymo. I would use anything that's nice and thin. KO is really my bead embellishing thread of choice. It's such my thread of choice that I don't know where I put mine down. Hang on, let me grab it real quick. That's a good screenshot for you to take if you want to take a screenshot there. So take another gulp of coffee here. Hi, Anne. Hi, Anne Garden. It's great to see you. Gosh, so many people are here. I love it. I'm pulling off like a, I don't know, like a wingspan, I guess, of KO here. You don't want it to be too long because it'll take forever to go through your needle or, go through your fabric. But let's come in. Let me put this lid on the diamond glaze. Let me come in and thread my needle. And I'm going to come in and go through this knot maybe 3 times, tighten it up, trim away the extra. And I'm just going to start in the center somewhere. Okay? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter where I go. Let me get a little tighter in here. Hang on. Let me zoom in. There we are. That's a little bit better. So I'm going to start, I'm just going to take a stitch. My needle, my knot catches on the back. I'm going to take a stitch down and bring a stitch up. Now, in your sequin mix, we have some really cool large sequins. I'm going to use one of those as the back, just kind of in the back, just for fun, okay? It'll make a fun base for this. I'm going to put on a sequin. I'm going to get, there's an 11-aught in this bead mix. Some of them don't have 11s. You can kind of add from your stash if you want. These come, the bags are 22 grams, so it's the same as one of our large tubes. You can watch my Friday Free Tip Friday if you want to see the details on all of this stuff. But I'll tell you, if you get all 3 of the bead mix bags, all 3 of the sequins, and all 3, though we're dangerously close to being sold out, I think, of the sequins and the rhinestones, you'll have a really great palette to play around with. You can also, friends, just stash dive and create your own mix, right? You don't have to, have exactly what I have. Create your own. We do have a lot of this really great ultra suede that you can grab, but you can also use some other stuff, whatever you want for backing. I'm going to also put in this little flower sequin like this right there. I'm going to put that in and do a little stopper on the 8-aught. Peggy, welcome. It's great to have you. Welcome to the TGBE Saturday. Awesome. Oh my gosh, we've broken 300 viewers. Give us that thumbs up if you're excited about that. Give me some hearts. Give me some love. I would love to see that from you, friends. Here's a sew on rhinestone. I can't see all of those because I'm broadcasting from our broadcasting platform, but let's fill up those hearts, those likes, those loves, wherever you are. That makes me so happy. And the algorithms love engagement. So give me that love. Give me that love. I want to see it. Thank you. Melanie says that she has been hoarding some other mixes just for this. So yes, I love it. Time to break those mixes out. So see how this, you don't need to stitch a whole lot of real estate in here, right? So yeah, keep hitting that like button. Oh, good. Those likes and stuff are climbing. Likes, hearts, loves, whatever. Let's give it that constant stream of love. It makes me super happy, especially those of you who are watching on Facebook. Facebook loves those likes and hearts and stuff, right? Love it. So here's this. See, look at that bugle bead just slides right in there. Let's do just a couple. Whoops, I need to bring needle up. There we go. And don't worry about placing everything too perfectly, right? Just find a bead, stitch it on. It's like stitch and stab, right? Stab that needle through right there on your ultra suede. So see, you're just filling in the space, okay? Keep going. On YouTube, Linda, the like button should be like down below the video somewhere, I think. There's a thumbs up. I think it's next to subscribe, maybe, or something. click around. If you're not doing it now during the broadcast, that's cool. Click around afterwards, do it then as well. I don't know, as long as there's engagement, I think that's all good. So you can see I've got a lot of like sequin right here. There's my dear friend Donna. Donna, I hope you're feeling well today, feeling good. Great to see you. Great to see everyone. Let me get some more of these out on here. Let me get an 11, an 8, another 8, and maybe one more 8 right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch. I bet I can have one more. There we go. I'm going to stitch over the top of that across like this, right? There we go. See, you can just kind of go over the top like that, right? Oh, and Cindy, thanks for that tip about the diamond glaze. Appreciate. Yeah, it does get a little bubbly. So make sure you don't really need to shake it for sure. Let me stitch and stab another one of these 8/0 there. So you just continue to move along. Okay. So let me move to this other one and we'll show you. I have this one that's going to go around the beads, these bead cores. Okay. So you can see here what I used. This was my template. This template going around the bead, it's about an inch. Okay. It's about an inch in length. And I think it's about, where's my tape measure is here. It's about an inch in length and about 3/8 of an inch in width. Okay. But what I did was basically I kind of put it up next to this and kind of eyeballed it until I figured it out. Okay. Like that. So there's my template that goes all around this bead. Okay. So I drew that on my ultra suede and I started stitching. Now the thing is that I'm stitching flat here, right? For this bead that's cylindrical. So I realized pretty quickly is that I had to kind of curve this every once in a while because when I curved it, the beads kind of came apart and you could see the ultra suede in between. Now, if that's a look that you're going for, it's fine. I really wanted this to look encrusted, right? So I kind of looped it around my finger and I filled in. Can you see how there's some beads that are kind of raised in here? I just kept kind of filling in. Also, another thing to think about, if you're using bugle beads, you want to stitch your bugle beads going across the bead this way, not this way. Okay, because the bugle beads have some length to them. They won't wrap around because they're rigid, but they'll wrap away around this way. So let me just do one final stitch here. Oh, you know what? I can't. My needle fell off. Let me get another needle. I know, encrusted, Janice. I wanted it to really be opulent. So let me thread that needle and see, you can see the back, how it just looks kind of like a mess, but it doesn't matter because this is what's all going to be glued down. See, look at, I went from back and forth. It's a big old mess right there, but it doesn't matter. So I'm going to come in. Let me see. I could use another bead like right there. So I'm going to needle up wherever I can get that needle up through. And I stayed within my boundaries mostly here that I drew, right? This template is what I drew on here. Now let me get just one or two more little, let me get this one, this kind of nice shiny bead, and I'm going to needle down And see how it's just going to kind of sit on the top there. That's all you have to do. Now I'm going to tie it off on the back. I'm going to go over or underneath one of these legs here, make a loop and go through with my needle a couple of times. See, I just used the scrap of the ultra suede that I had done with my other bezel, my round bezel. And what I did with this one, can you see how there's some big like sequins? There's some sequins down there at the bottom. It's kind of fun. Okay. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to clip this extra away. And now I'm going to cut this out. Now I need to be careful here. This is really where I need to make sure that I'm not hurting anything or cutting any of my stitches. So I'm going to get in kind of close here. And this is also where you want a super sharp pair of scissors. I'm going to come in. Small little embroidery scissors would be best for this, but I carried them in the house and I don't have them with me out here. But so see here, I'm cutting it kind of close, literally. I'm going to come around this edge. I'm going to make sure I'm going to cut some of this away like this. And then, you know what I'm going to do? Let me see if these work. Hang on. Because these scissors are just, they're driving me a little crazy. Let me see if I can use my thread snip. I should have left my tiny scissors out here. Let me see if these work. They might. If not, I'll go back to them. I know I'm going to need to order some more rhinestones. And I promise you, yeah, look at these Zurons. Look at these Zuron snips. See how I'm holding them kind of at an angle? And I'm trimming that extra ultra suede away, but I'm not trimming any of my stitches. Okay? Yeah, I promise you, we'll get more rhinestones. We will definitely get more rhinestones. We went to an old supplier of ours from way back 30 years ago. And I don't know if, when we were putting all of this stuff together and everything, Janice was telling me, I don't know if you folks remember old school in Manhattan, where we used to shop when I'd go to New York. We'd go to a place called York Beads. And I have pictures of it. I need to find those pictures. It was a skinny building. I can't remember what street it was on. But it was a skinny building full of decades of beads and crystals and all of that. And we would go, all of the crystals were in the basement. And there was like exposed wiring. And you were literally standing on boxes of beads. So crazy. So that's what kind of doing this. Oh, thanks, JP. Janice remembers like there was no tomorrow, right? It was so fun. Kathy, I agree. York was so fun. Those days are long gone, but it was really a fun time. Yeah, the beading district was so fun. We had such a good time. York, unfortunately, is no more. It is no more, but those were good times. But fortunately, we still have contacts back from those days, right? So we're still able to find some of that old school stuff for you. So that was fun. Now, notice, my friends, that this is not flat, right? Since I was stitching this, I didn't mind, especially as I was kind of wrapping it around my finger and stitching. I didn't really mind that it was curving because I knew it was going to curve around this, right? And yeah, JP, it's true. The floors got so heavy. It was It was crazy. It was a tall, skinny building. They had a little bead shop in the very front, and then it was like a speakeasy. You had to like speak the secret word, and you could go back and shop. It was nuts. So see here, look at this. I want to test it. I want to make sure that all of this sits around like that. This one, this is a little loose right here. I'm not liking that. See, that's a little loose. I don't like that. So I'm going to come in before I glue. Where did my needle go? Right. I know bead shopping in Manhattan was so fun. I did that. I would go back in the 90s. I would go and shop. Let me see if I can just tack those down, right? Yeah, those were fun. Those were fun times. Retail and the face of wholesale and stuff has really changed, but having been in the business, Janice has been in the business since 1982. I've been in the business since 1992. So being able to still, luckily, shop our vendor friends. See how I'm just reinforcing it? Shopping our old vendor friends it's very meaningful. You know, supporting kind of tried and true companies that have been around for decades, sometimes even hundreds of years. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to just knot that off. Okay. There we go. You can always kind of recover from those little issues. So now we're going to glue it in. And see, it's even better because it curves a little bit. Yeah, I might have clipped a thread, you know, who knows when I was cutting. It's kind of hard for me to see. So, but it's really fine. If you clip a thread, just come back in and restitch it. Okay. So now it's time to glue. And I'm going to glue using E6000. And I've got my E6000. It's here somewhere in this mess of a table. Hang on. Let me look. Did your table start to look like this? Right? Let me zoom out a little bit so you can really see. See, look at that mess. Can you see it? Oh, and I found my E6000 as I zoomed out. I had to see it. Okay. Let me show you here. Janice, I love it. Back in the day when you and your mom were bead shopping, yeah, you and Lydia would go to Manhattan and buy. That's when the buying was good for sure. Buying's still pretty good, right? You just have to know where to look. But yeah, we've been in this bead game for a lot of years. Here's my E6000. I'm going to extrude some of it close to the tip here. Let me get my little paddle, wooden paddle there. Let me fold this piece of paper underneath. Now I'm going to get some E6000 on this guy. I'm going to spread it on. We want to go fairly thin, right? We don't want any E6000 coming out the sides. So I'll get it. I'll kind of put it towards the center and then slide it to these edges. Don't use a ton, but just get it there. Do be aware the E6000 does have a little bit of a odor to it, so make sure that you're working in a well-ventilated area. And I'm pushing some E6000. I want to make sure that the edges are kind of sealed, right? So I'm putting just a really thin layer around that flange of the bead. Not so much, my friends, that it's going to smush out, but I want to seal those edges. E6000 starts to set up, so you want to hustle, but you've got a little bit of working time there. All right. This looks good. I'm going to put this stick over here so I don't glue it to my arm. All right. Let's get this piece and push it in. Okay. Push it in all the way around. And I'm going to use the other side of my stick to get it all nice and tight. There's a couple of little spots there that are naked. We can't have that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue a couple of beads there. And you'll never know that there's a space. Let me get a bugle bead. Get my E6000. Get it on that bugle. Glue it in. Whoops, I got some glue on that neighboring bead. Let me get it off with my finger. Push it in there. Okay, there's a little opening right there. I did that same thing when I closed up this cuff. It's exactly the same way. And I just knew that these beads would work. These beads are just like this small, it's like the small bracelet. It's the same. It's, a round kind of surface. And you just embellish. And then you glue a few things on, right? I don't know if you watched that. I think it's on Netflix right now. It's a autobiography or a biography of Liza Minnelli, right? And she's on, and it's so good. I'm the biggest Liza Minnelli fan in the world. I love Liza, 100%. And her costumes, when Halston really started to make her pieces, and she's just wearing sequins, right? They look so good. I feel like I'm encrusting something for Liza with a Z when I make things like this, right? I adore them. Now, thanks, folks, for your kind words on that. Here it is right here, okay? So there's a couple of questions about this. Let me, there's a question. I'm scrolling. Okay, Katney says, how do these glues hold up in high heat like Arizona? Fresno, also high heat here, my friend, and I've had no issues. So I think you'll be good. Make sure that you store these, though, kind of inside, right? But I've used E6000 to glue things that, I'm going to put in the window or whatever, and I'm fine, right? So we're good, right? I know, Halston, same, right? So Cindy, great question. I love the Ultra Suede because I love to stitch, right? And especially on here, when I do this, I can really place the beads and stitch them exactly where I want to stitch them. Now, the one that's glued, let me get a little closer so you can see all of this. Here's the one that I glued. And see how you can see a little bit of the glue in there, right? A little bit. Here's the other one that's setting up that I glued. Now, this bead, gluing the beads in here, they may not, since it's so round, you could glue them in sections and sections and sections, right? But, you do you. I'm not going to say don't glue because I've glued these two here. But also I think I love the way that these stitch in. Let me put that there so you can see that. Let me hide the comment. Let me pull this out just a little, and I'll show you. See here in the cuff, right here. Let me see if I can make this focus on the cuff. How I've stitched it, right? So I can stitch more patterns. I can have a little more control of when I'm stitching. But if stitching isn't your gig, the gluing is also fine. See, that's just glued. And look at this bead. I can't wait to wear it. Now let me show you what I'm going to do with this bead. Oh, and you know what? My time is almost up. Oh my goodness gracious. Hang on. I think I've showed you just about everything. I'm going to go over for just like a second. So, but this is our medium paper clip chain. Look at how that bead, I'm going to make a little picture here. Look at how that bead slides on that chain. Can you stand it? I know, right? I'm in love with it. It just hangs. Look at how great that looks, right? Karen, just go overtime. I know, right? I'm going to try and be respectful, but yes. I don't need to put any diamond glaze over the top of this, right? But I did put a little bit of diamond glaze over the top of that. This one, what I'm going to do, I've got some pearls, and I'm going to add a jump ring. We'll give Candy Cooper a run for her money on the jump rings that we carry here at Bead Shop as well. We carry a ton of them. There's like that nice big, I can do this in front, right? Where I can put the clasp in front with the pearls, right? And I've got some, oh, thanks, Jill. No, I'm not going to go over. I'm going to cede my time to the great lady, Jill McKay, I promise. But see, here we go. Here's all of it right here. There we go. Hopefully, let me zoom in just a little bit here so you can take a good screenshot of all of these. But this is just killing me. You could also string this on with pearls, but I am going to make so many of these encrusted beads. I'm just loved it. I loved it. Yeah, and no resin, my friend. Embroidered on ultra suede. This one's embroidered. This one's embroidered. Just like I started with this. This one's embroidered. Okay? But this is diamond glazed. And that is diamond glazed. Right? So either or. You can catch me, I think next weekend I'll do another stitch in, and we'll keep working on this bead embroidered butterfly. You can find it on our stitch in page, on our Saturday stitch-ins. You can find all of those on our YouTube channel. Thank you, Janice, for linking the thread and the chains. The thread I used was KO. If you go, my friends, right to the home page at beadshop.com, I have everything linked. Okay, I've got this the template for the butterfly. I have the KO on the home page. If you go to Bead Embroidery supplies, the thread is there, the sharps, the needles that I use, all of it's there. Okay, so if you have questions, don't hesitate. You can reach out to us here at Bead Shop, info@beadshop.com. Use that coupon code, my friends. If you enter TGBE15 at checkout, that coupon code is good all weekend long. Okay. It expires on Sunday night at midnight. Don't let things languish in your cart, because if you put things in and you're like, oh, I'm going to come back and shop later, someone else, if they have them in their cart and they check out, you will miss out. Okay. So go in, check out. And that's my story. Sign up for our newsletter as well, my friends. We do a lot of fun things in our newsletter. I write little like articles. We have a lot of great information. And our newsletter almost every day goes out at 2 a.m. Pacific time. So it's a great way to stay connected. I want to take this off here. Okay. Oh my goodness. I think I did it. Apologies for running over a little bit, my friends, but I hope you're enjoying this bead embroidery. Join me on Wednesday for our regular broadcasts on Wednesday and Fridays on all YouTube, Facebook, on all the Bead Shop socials. I go on at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time. So thank you. And yes, a big thank you to Janice for linking everything, and a big thank you to all of you who are out there shopping. Again, all of us here at the Great Bead Extravaganza really, really appreciate your support, your social shares, your likes, your comments. We know that you have choices where to spend your discretionary craft income. And when you spend it with us, you make a small business owner very, very happy. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Next coming up is the OG of the bead world, our dear friend Jill McKay. She has a great presentation for you. Then we've got Soft Flex coming up. Then I'm going to be back at 4 p.m. Pacific time to share with you the wonderful Francesca Watson. Just right after Neelay Patel goes with his wonderful Silver Silk presentation. So there's a lot more to come today, and I'm looking forward to watching as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and I will see you at 4 p.m. with Francesca. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you soon.